7 minutes past 8. Good morning. Happy Democracy Day to everyone Nigerian, whether you are in diaspora or here with us in the country. Well, it's still your democracy. It's our Democracy Day. So we have to be happy about it and celebrate it. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew, and this morning I have a very wonderful gentleman with me in the studio to have a very informative conversation. Dr. Douglas Fabeke, CEO Ogoni Liberation Initiative, was also the Labour Party candidate for the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District in the last election. Sir, thank you for joining us and good morning to you. It's been a long time.
Thank you, Andrew. Finally this morning.
I've been trying to have him on the show and I've been pushing for a long time because I said I haven't spoken with you for long, and he's been all over environmental business for a while.
Thank you.
But today
we are here.
He's here.
Yeah.
So
today becomes a very special day.
Oh, okay.
It's special Democracy Day.
Exactly. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Just to get into it quickly, because we try to maximize the time as much as possible. Already we have people on Facebook with their questions and contributions coming in. But for you, we're streaming live on Facebook. So join us at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Again, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That's the handle on Facebook. Go join the live stream. Click on the share button. Let's get it out there to as many people as possible. And drop your comments. We'll want to find out from you. Would you say democracy has benefited us more as a people? And that's the first question I'll direct to my guest. Would you say democracy has benefited us more as a people? I mean, in 32 years now, if I'm not mistaken, 32.
Well, what I can say about democracy in Nigeria, what is going on is like it's just an activities that we practice, but it has not benefited the people. And I feel very bad because when you are saying democracy, it's government for the people, by the people, government that is installed by the people, you know. So I've never known the meaning until I contested for election 2023. And I discovered that it is not who the people voted for that become their leader.
So from your experience,
from my experience. I don't think Nigeria believe in democracy. The only difference is that we don't have the military government in power. We still have civilians in power. Just like the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria is a civilian, and other states we still have civilian government. That is the only difference between the democracy we celebrate and the one we know before. But coming to this aspect of people choosing their leader, because that is what we call democracy. Democracy is that people have the right to choose their leader. I'm speaking now out of experience. I contested an election and people voted for me and I scored the highest number of votes. But yet, I was not announced.
That was according to your from what you got.
Because you must define.
From what INEC said.
From what INEC said. And I went to INEC to demand materials, and they refused releasing my materials. A democracy where what you have in hand that people voted for you is not what reflected on the INEC document. Because we are going to define democracy that the people at the grassroots will feel the impact of governance. We have the feeling. I keep on saying it. There was a time I traveled to my village when I came back then I was in US, and there was hospital, healthcare center everywhere in the community. You go to this ward, you see hospital, you do water, children were going to school.
Your village?
Yes! That was during Amechi administration. I go to my village, and children they were free. They have school bag, they have sandals, they have school. You see a lot of children in the primary school. I think that was when people were feeling the impact of democracy. We are enjoying the government. Because when the people at the grassroots enjoy the government, there's a democracy. Now they know how to celebrate it. In those days, we normally come trek from my community to Taban to go and do Independence Day celebration or democracy. A lot of things. But now, I don't know how Nigeria will celebrate democracy because we don't believe in the democracy.
But there's freedom of speech.
There is freedom of speech to some extent.
Freedom of association.
Freedom of association. Those are the things we enjoy for now to some extent. I'm telling you to some extent. I know how many threat messages I receive anytime I come on air.
So even for freedom of speech,
even for freedom of speech, you have to be careful what you say, or else you go to jail tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? So now, are we actually celebrating democracy? Though I appreciate Mr. President for what he's trying to do to put Nigeria in order, but 2027 is coming, and we say democracy in Nigeria. Will the vote of people count? Will people be allowed to choose their leader, who they want to govern them? That is what we call democracy. I've witnessed several elections in African countries. I was in Ghana when there was presidential elections in Ghana. I was also in the Benin Republic. I followed the UN through my organizations. I have witnessed several elections in 3 African countries that practice democracy. You see the reality that the people have the power to choose their leader, and that is the foundation of democracy. And that is when people know, because what we are taught in school is different from what we have seen at the characteristic of democracy. The core focus of democracy is not what we are seeing now. We are seeing civilian wearing civilian clothes, but one part is military clothes. You cannot come up to say, because now when the people are suffering, democracy has to do with the government that oversees the grassroots people.
The FCC minister yesterday did not sound as though the people are suffering, because he said that the performance of the president even has thwarted the coalition that has Atiku Abubakar discussing El Rufai, former Minister of Transportation. He says the president is performing well.
We're not only talking of the president performance now. In Nigeria,
but he's the man in charge.
We have the governors.
To him.
We have the governors. We have the senators. We have those in the House of Reps. What have they done to enhance the living condition of the people?
Senator Akpabio said that the lawmakers are doing well.
What have they done?
He said it specifically during the commissioning of the coastal road, parts of the coastal road that they commissioned. He said that the assembly members are doing well, and whatever the president has brought to them, they look at it because they are doing well, it's good.
That the Senate president said the assembly members are doing well. Is it overseeing all the senatorial districts in Nigeria? Or he's talking on behalf of his own senatorial district?
Speaking on behalf of the House.
He's talking on behalf of the House.
Of the lawmakers, yes.
Of the lawmakers doing well on media and just paperwork. Because this is not only about the president. We have to talk about the governors. We talk about the senators. We talk about those in the House of Rep. This is where we have division of labors. Whatever you can do to better the life of your people, you go ahead and do it. Look at what is happening in Abia State. Will the president go and stop the Abia State governor not to go and develop his state? No. If you are a senator and you have a vision for your people, and you want to develop your people, will anybody stop you? No.
So would you say that senators don't have visions for their people?
Do you see any senator that have demonstrated that they have vision?
Well, they send sewing machines and they send
bags
of rice and noodles.
These are things that we...
And they do skill acquisition and empowerment.
These are things that
clothes, money.
These are things that we have been witnessing that it has become normal to all politicians. Sharing of vehicle and skill acquisition machine, computer, laptop, it has become a norm. It has become what they practice. And that is why when I came out to contest for Senate, I did my manifesto and people were surprised. A senator is doing his manifesto, and I begin to outline in my first year as a senator, this is what I'm going to do. I did a research on the situation and the condition of my people. If I'm going to represent them, I'm going to represent to bring a solution to what they are going through. This is the problem I can solve. You have some level of authority as a senator to solve the problems of your people. The president will not say no. If you have a vision, You can perform anywhere you are. But it has become normal. It has become normal activities. A politician will come and buy a machine, come and buy a hairdresser and be sharing it to people, and they put it on record. And if they spend 100 million, they will say they use 1 billion to empower their people. As a senator, you can't bring investors to your senatorial district to create industry. As a senator, you can't create a scholarship program for your people in abroad. There's a lot of international agency looking for a way to partner with government. You don't even need to pay, but they need a government recognitions. There are a lot of creativity you can do, a lot of innovation you can put on board to make sure your people feel the impact of governance. When I came up my dream that before I finish my 4 years, I'm going to have nothing less than 5 to 6 industries in Riverside Senatorial District. How will I do it? I'm already a member of Global Investment Forum. We know where those people are looking for where to invest. We know where those people are looking for where to build their industries.
But couldn't you, pass on some of these laudable ideas to the
representing? You know the kind of government we have today. This is a state where I launch a fuel-less motorcycle. We are doing something in Kigali now. We are doing something in Sierra Leone. We are trying to do something in Liberia. But this is a state where I launch an innovation that can help the less privileged. And I wrote a letter to the government of Rivers State. I even sat down with the Honorable Minister of Environment. He even walked out on me in his office.
Which of the Minister of Environment?
That was the Commissioner for Environment. Yeah, the Commissioner for Environment. I'm talking of one of my brothers, Honorable Sidney Gbara. I tried to send a letter to all those relevant agencies that we can collaborate with. And my idea was to see how we can reduce the pressure of fuel or fuel on people living in the rural area using transportation that they can use without fuel, and that will lessen their cost.
I remember he mentioned something like this to me.
Yes,
the conversation
when people are saying that you don't want to work with government, the government we have today are not ready to solve the problem in the community, and that is why when I see them dancing, I cry. What are you dancing for? People are dying.
But the people are clapping for these people.
And the people are clapping for them. In the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 3, the prophet was shouting when he see people were jubilating. He said, "What people were jubilating while other people were crying?" And he said, God said, "What are you seeing? The glory of this house has depleted."
All right.
And that gave us an encouragement that there is something God can still do. Why will people not clap when they give you 5,000? And people are forgetting that they are under slavery. Now there's a condition you find yourself and you become comfortable with it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? If you put a frog, when I was in secondary school, there's this experiment that my teacher taught me. He put a frog in a basin and pour small water, hot water, and he pours small cold water. So the frog did not know either he was in cold water or he was in hot water. He became so comfortable that he cannot fly out. That is the situation some people have found themselves.
So why do you think then that by the way, it was a laudable idea with the
laudable idea? Did the government came? I invited government agency.
I was asking the Commissioner for Environment at the time, what were the plans, and he mentioned something.
I sat down. I sent a letter to the Commissioner for Environment, and he invited me to his office, and I went to his office with my team. I was in his office when he said the governor is calling him. He walked out of me without even calling me back. Is that what we call governance? No, let us be sincere. I'm looking beyond what is happening in Rivers State now. Rivers State is no longer the state that we knew before.
So what do you make of the Rivers State situation now?
The Rivers State situation now.
Many people feel that the Democracy Day speech that was postponed to later in the day, it was first cancelled, but now to later in the day. Some people think that the president needs to address the situation in Rivers State.
Yeah, the president will address the situation in Rivers State. Like I said, there was a meeting that was held maybe a few weeks ago. I was invited by New Central to talk about the solution of Rivers State. I work with the United Nations. I work with a lot of international agencies. We spent 2 weeks in Abuja trying to interact with the government, writing letters and asking them to restore the governor back, restore democracy back. But sometimes when you now begin to do all these things, and the person you are asked they should restore is telling you that he's no longer interested. I need to be frank here as a leader. I'm an international leader. You understand? The governor also need to sit up. The people of Rivers State are suffering. If they are bringing you back, you have to embark on new assignment. We don't want to see all those kind of dancing people making noise here. Governance is not about noise. Governance is about creativity and innovations. If the governance is going to be restored back, we are all fought for it. I'm not a noise maker on social media on what I do. There are some certain things I do I don't put on social media. I signed one of the most powerful letters that was sent to Mr. President. And I think I have worked for His Excellency when he was a governor in Lagos State. I spent 25 years in Lagos State. I was then working with the African Development Initiative. We are the one that designed some of the plan that was executed by Governor Fashola. And I have a personal number. We spoke. You understand? Now we have written, we have made some research, and we have said this is a challenge. This is what is going to happen if Rivers State continue to find himself in the situation we are. But the people involved should also be careful to govern the people the way governance is defined. If you are a governor, the seat does not belong to you. It belongs to the people. And the people has a voice. The people need to tell you what you need to do and what you don't need to do. Because we are saying Rivers State 50-something years today. Look at the glory of Rivers State. What are we seeing today? There is no school in the communities. Can government not come up with an agenda to restore the glory of primary school? That is where the hope. When there is a community and when the children are in the house and they don't have access to education, the future of that state or that country is in a terrible hand. How do they grow? I go to some communities. I'm a grassroots leader, and there is no primary school. Where you find primary school, you see people children sitting on the floor. I have visited a primary school in this state that the children are in thatch house, in mud house. So a leader, you must accept the situation of the people you are leading. It's beyond noise. It's beyond so much noise. And I want to address the people of Rivers State. We don't need this noise. What we need is creativity, that we put this state on a global map. So that if you go to anywhere and somebody say you're from Rivers State, you should be proud to say I'm from Rivers State. Like what happened when I was in India doing a program with Shada University. I saw some Rivers State students. They were in that university. I was surprised. We're having about 15 students from Rivers State. And I asked them, how do you get here? In Shada University, one of the best universities in Asia. And they said they are on a Rivers State Sustainable Development Program. These are what we want to see. A state where the government is taking healthcare as a priority. A state where education comes first as paramount. A state where investors will be trooping to go because of the peaceful nature of the state, because of the vision of the leaders, because of how people are composing themselves to make sure they make a history.
Because how do you separate?
We don't want to be a state where some individual will not see themselves as we are the owner of Rivers.
How do you separate personal vision from vision of the state? Because for many people, vision of the state has to be their vision that then the state runs with, and
the problem we are having is that some people don't even have a vision for them to come.
After the commercial, let's take a break. When we come back, there's more to talk about. Good morning. conversation continues this Democracy Day on the show, Nigeria Info. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. The Morning Crossfire continues. My guest, Dr. Douglas Fabeke, still very much with me in the studio. It's been quite heated in the first half of it. We'll go to the phone lines shortly, but let me remind those of us who are online. On Facebook, we have Nigeria Info 923PH, so use it. Don't forget to share. You can also send us messages on WhatsApp 0809-030-6416. Now, back to you, Doc. Just before we open the phone lines, let's go back to the River State situation and where we were. There were a few things you said about that the governor also needs to. I mean, reflecting on the comments he made at the time, he said, if it was left to me, my heart has left there, but because of other people with me. If it was left to only me,
yes,
I wouldn't have.
said that statement was made out of maybe the governor was under pressure. Two statements have been made as a leader. There are statements you don't make in the public, and it is when you are under pressure. Every leader has a temptation. Every leader has a battle you are meant to fight, which God knows you are going to fight this battle. When Moses was there, he fought his own battle, and when Joshua came. The battle Joshua fought. He fought the battle of, removing the city of Jericho. It was a nation and taking the Israelites through, and he was about to face the Jericho wall. But while he was pondering and praying and asking God, the angel of God appeared and tell him to remove the shoe. He asked him to refine himself. Look, so area of your life you need to put in order before you cross this into Jericho. Every leader called by God, no matter how you came in as a leader, you have a battle to fight. So I felt it is a battle that His Excellency Asimilai Fubara need to fight for Rivers people. But we know when a leader is under pressure, is when you can define your style of leadership. It's just what happened to Saul. He was under pressure. There was war here and there, and he was waiting for Samuel to come and to offer sacrifice.
That the pressure was too much.
And the pressure was too much. And the people were telling Saul, go ahead, go and do the sacrifice. Samuel said, look, he acted under the pressure of the people and went into the priestly office and offered sacrifice. The moment he offered that sacrifice, Samuel appeared. And he said, why do you do that? He said, because the people pressure me. You understand? Now, what am I saying this? When the governor made that statement, is to reflect on every international platform. I'm representing United Nations for Africa. I'm representing African Commission for Economic Activities under the UN. Now, I receive a lot of mail, because we are trying to defend what is happening here. Now, there are statements you don't make as a leader. As the governor is coming back now, because he's coming back to take over the seat as the governor of Rivers State, he has to reposition himself. He has to reposition his vision. He has to reposition his mind. He has to convince the people of Rivers State that he is for Rivers State, not for any particular tribe. Rivers State has a lot of ethnic minorities. We have the Queres, we have the Ogoni, we have the Kalabari, we have the so many languages. You are for Rivers State. Now, making a statement that your spirit is no longer in government house, or making a statement that you are no longer interested, or whatever statement that was made in the public, I have always told people that everything you said from your mouth that comes out of you is a spirit, is life. At some certain level, you come back to God and say, I'm sorry. Making a statement to justify his removal from office was also good in the international eyes. Because every statement the governor made is being carried
suspension.
Yes, every statement made by the governor is being carried by both local and international media. Making a statement that you thank Mr. President for suspending you or intervene, because there are so many ways Mr. President can intervene in the matter. It means you are already justified the undemocratic action that was taken.
Unfortunately, time will not allow us to go much.
Time will not allow us to go.
Let me just quickly ask this question, which is what to expect from the President's Democracy Day address that it says it's going to be addressing the joint plenary session today. What expectations? What would you want him to address?
Well, we are talking about Democracy Day celebration. I think what number one thing we have written to Mr. President is to make sure is to help us to restore His Excellency Asimilai Fubara back as the governor of Rivers State. So that now, because we are talking of democracy, and it was a democratically elected governor for Rivers State. That is one thing that the president should do. I knew that he was one of the crusaders for democracy. And the president need to reflect back how he slept in prisons and whatever that, all that has happened and what he has gone through. I knew, and that we have the profile. Rivers State must be governed by a democratic elected governor.
Okay.
And that is one of the things we want, Mr. President. We have written to Mr. President from the international aspect of it. We have United Mission for Africa have written, African Commission for Economic this and have written. I think about 4 letters that we have forwarded, which I also signed as a diplomatic citizen, that the governor should be restored back. But I'm also trying to talk to the governor, which I know is hearing me now, that he has to. Now, you look at, I was saying something, Rivers State, we are saying Rivers State as a state that also have leader or elders, or you know, these are things that happen in some state, and you see the elders going to visit the government and sign a common stand and say, this is what must be happen, His Excellency. This was wrong and this was wrong.
Thank you for mentioning this.
Look and see
the right and wrong part of it. It's almost as though in politics in Rivers State,
it is
there's nothing about right or wrong.
Right or wrong. It's like when you have the money, you are in charge of the money. It's when people come around you. Like I was saying that. I don't want to say because I'm not been given contract or I'm benefiting from Rivers State, because if the government is in peace and things are going well and you are also operating your own little activities in the state, you are benefiting. It doesn't mean when you benefit on the governor that you have to. I'm sure you have to fight for it. The listener
has a lot of questions to ask. 0817-923-0002 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0007. Those are the numbers to call this morning to participate. On Facebook, several messages to your guest. Good morning. Concerning this matter of democracy has not benefited we as the people, rather it's the political bourgeois who have benefited and who are benefiting. Democracy is for the people, but in democracy setting, it's for political leaders here in the country. Mark Ahmadi says, unfortunately, Nigeria is not practicing democracy. If Nigeria is practicing democracy, why can't it be practical? Politicians take democracy as their personal democracy. Agwanwo says, this matter, democracy has not benefited the people. That's from Godwin. To the phone lines now. Temple from Rumasi. Please, let's just go straight to the question or your contribution and try to keep it as short and precise as possible so we maximize the time the best that we can. On WhatsApp, this person here, this one is from, let's see. Okay, while we wait on that, let's go to NTA Road. Mufasa, please, short and simple, straight to the point. Good morning.
Yeah, quick one. I want to commend your guest. He has actually done justice to the topic being discussed. I think my take on all that he has said is for a total restoration of democratic governance to Rivers State. And that's the only way that you can assess those that have been given the mandate. Because as it stands now, we cannot totally and categorically, assess and score the elected governor, because he has had series of interrupted governance since he was inaugurated today. So for me, like he has said, we want to see a complete and total restoration of democratic rule in Rivers State. That's my position.
All right, let's go to Magnus from our 3. Good morning. Magnus, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Andrew.
You would have to speak up, please. We can barely hear you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Andrew.
Thank you. Keep it short.
Yes. 32 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria, and we are celebrating it today. Well, I would say congratulations to us. But I think there are a lot of things that we have not done to celebrate this. In terms of insecurity, the economy, our education. If you take your mic to the streets of Port Harcourt today, you will hear different views and different stories on how people think things should have worked in this country, and it doesn't work. I think one of the problems we are having in this country is attitudinal change. It is not about the constitution. It is not about our institution. It is about we as a people. We must change our attitude towards a lot of things in this country to have a better democracy.
Ida from Nkoro, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to thank you again. One of the problems we are having in Rivers is our leaders. Now, this has happened. I've never seen any leader call the both parties, sit them down. Let's go and make Parliament able to sort out this problem. But when the governor comes back, you will see them following the governor every year. But they've never called the governor. Never called the minister. What's the problem? They've never come on radio. They've never called Nigeria. It's always Sarah that is doing all those things. But our leader, our kings, so yeah, but when the governor come back, when he goes to the church, he will donate money. He will do this, he will do that. But they've never spoken anything about this case. I'm angry. I'm angry for our leaders. I've never seen them. For me, I'm talking every day on radio, crying. When they come back, they will benefit more than me. Thank you. God bless you.
Good news from our three. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother, man.
Yeah.
And good morning, Dr. Fabeke.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, thank God for today. Quick one. You said 22 years uninterrupted democracy. I disagree with you. If you say uninterrupted democracy, what has happened to River State? Are we in democracy in River State? There is an interruption in democracy.
Theory.
Or is it because it's not the president? The same thing that covers the president covers the governor. And today, you have stopped an elected governor, democratically elected governor, and assembly members. For what? One, coming again to look at the issues you talked about in River State. The truth is that we must tell ourselves the truth. The former governor of River State, now the FCT minister, finished the education ministry in River State. People with children sent abroad to study, was brought back to study in River State, yet they weren't sponsored. But his own son was sent to study law. But he was studying law. He brought them back. The education system is down. As I talk to you right now, the principals hardly see markers to teach. Who supervises the teachers? Children go to school once, every week they learn once a day and come back. And you said things are going well. Haba Mala. Haba.
All right, good news. Thank you. Muriel in Okrika, good morning.
It's a very saddening situation.
Hi. Shemi, good morning.
Morning, Muriel.
Happy democracy.
All right, wish you the same.
Well, as much as I'm not happy, and I know so many Rivers sons and daughters and residents are not happy as well. But what do? We keep wishing ourselves the best. Well, the president did not address us as planned by 7. I wanted to say, I would have said maybe we would have given him the leverage, to go to France to address us from there. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten this disappointment. Or maybe he should have assigned 1 or 2 spokespersons, maybe even the FCT minister, to address us. Those that are always eager to speak to us and then give us media chats. Then maybe we would have gotten ourselves a democracy breakfast. But nonetheless, he said he will, with during whatever it comes, I'm expecting. Fear me, I will not join other river sons that are pleading and begging the president to do the right thing while he's treading on the wrong path with river people. I would join those that are demanding to give us what is rightfully ours. He must give us what is rightfully ours. He must reinstate the governor. I don't care whether the governor is so accommodating, wants to accept every illegality that is being done to him. Maybe he always wants to tread on the wrong path. But everybody must not be, in a family, everybody must not be cool-headed. Yeah, there are some that must stand and wage the war when it comes, because certainly the war will come. Because if everybody is cool-headed, it will overtake the entire family and consume them. So I think I join those river sons and daughters that are demanding that President Tinubu reinstate our governor to give us what is rightfully ours in River State. It is so sad.
All right.
But if he doesn't come and hear me, we will remember him in history that this is what he did to Rivers people, not to Governor State.
Let's hear Braid quickly.
I think Andrew,
let's take this one.
I need to make some correction before people.
Let's just take one.
I want to make some correction. I want to make correction before people.
We're already out of time.
Just give me 1 second. One.
Oh my goodness.
One.
Oh yeah, go on. Braid,
okay,
just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Please be quick, Braid.
Good morning to the guests in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my question is this. You have written
a letter to the presidency through your organization, have you also take time to use the position of your organization to reach out to the two warring factions and see how peace can be broken out? Because
yes, we have done that.
From the two angles.
We have done that.
The president even called out the suspension.
All right, Braid.
We are going to have that relative peace in Rivers State.
Thank you, Braid. We get your question. Sorry, Leighton Barry, unfortunately, we can't take your call.
No, there's one correction I want to make for people who are responding to this. There is already a peace process. There's already
not according to the APC led by Tony Okocha or even the FCT minister.
Let us listen.
The FCT minister did not say. He said he's not aware.
Yes.
Let us say this. Also said he's not aware.
The governor have said he thanks Mr. President for his intervention. Fine, because when you make comment according to the disposition of your leaders. Meaning, for what we have found, like my friend said, yes, we have been involved in reaching out to the two parties through the middlemen, through the middle. You cannot bash into people's privacy except you have given authority. But there is a platform, there is a template that is already existed for you to reach out to these two parties. I've not been able to sit down with His Excellency, but I was invited by New Centrals on how to find a permanent solution on this matter. And we have also done our best. Yeah, I told you I spent 1 week plus in Abuja with some agencies and international to write to Mr. President. Now, the problem between both parties is only two of them that understand what is causing the division.
That's why it's confusing, because nobody is really saying what started the problem.
I went to my friend's house. His wife and him always fight. Every day, the yard, we run helter-skelter because of husband and wife fighting. And I visited him and I said, look, what is causing problem between two of you? Two of you, husband and wife. It's only two of you that can resolve. You understand? And they resolve that matter between them. His Excellency and the FCT minister. The governor has served His Excellency for some number of years. I have sat down in the house of the FCT minister with His Excellency, with three of us sitting down to discuss. And I saw the relationship that existed between two of them. And I believe with all what people have done now, whatever that becomes the problem. You see, I said, what makes you a leader with capacity is the ability for you to solve problem and to handle crisis. Now, it is only these two people that can sit down in their private room
and resolve it.
All right, themselves.
In few seconds,
you understand?
In few seconds, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. on the Ogoni, the talks about resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni. In few seconds, what would you say about it?
Who resumes? Who want to come and resume oil exploration in Ogoni?
But the meetings with the governor, with the president.
There were
even talks of a university that was to be set up.
You don't use the university as a bait to resume oil operation in Ogoni. There are federal universities all over the state in Nigeria. So that should not be a condition.
So what would be required?
Ogoni people has a bill of rights. So when the government want to resume, we will know. I'm not against oil resumption. You know, Ogoni matter is not just a matter you treat under the carpet, or maybe a secret matter you enter into one secret room and have an agreement with somebody and say you want to go and resume oil operation. A lot of Ogoni people have lost leaders. We lost 4 of our greatest leaders in Gokana. With 9 persons were hanged to death. 1,000 people were massacred unjustly. Human rights violations. A lot of things took place. Our environment have scattered and everything. And you want to resume. You want to go back to that same community or society to start business. There are things. There are templates. There are already a template on ground for you to enter. I don't think it's a big deal.
That's how much we can take this morning.
So when the federal government is ready,
we have to wrap it up here. We'll go for a commercial now. Jude comes in next. Good morning and happy Democracy Day.
One day now, one day.